So what we have here is our 2006 PT Cruiser convertible, and what we're going to do is we're going to change the spark plugs today. I went to Honda and they kind of said it was going to be $428 because there's a plug in here that they can't reach and they have to dismantle the entire engine. So we're going to take a look and see where that one plug is. We're going to move the manifold, which is this black thing right here, and there's 8 bolts. No, 8, I think there's 6. 2, 4, there's 5. And they're 8mm heads on them. So you're going to use an 8mm socket to get those out. The manifold is loose, as you can see. What we're going to have to do is unsnap the air cleaner, which is here. There's 3 little snaps on each side, and that pops off. 2 snaps, and that pops off. And what that does is it gives it a nice little flex, so we can move this whole thing out of the way. And then you're going to want to put a rag over there. I'll get back to you. But now we're going to look for something to hang, and probably a bungee cord I'm going to put from the top to hold this out of our way. Okay, so there it is. I have a bungee cord, hanging from it, and it's up as far as it can go. Just want to make sure you don't damage these rubber gaskets here because they sit on top of the manifold. I'm going to put a piece of cloth on top of that, a rag, so that we don't damage anything or anything falls in there. And there are your 4 plugs. 1, 2, 3, 4. As you can see, they're very visible. There's not hidden. I don't have to rip apart half the engine to get at them. It took me about 3 minutes to get the bolts off of the manifold. So now we're going to pry the top of the cap covers off, and this is plastic, so we have to be careful with that and we don't damage this. So we're going to put something, a strip, and then we're going to make a little fixture to pry those off. So what we did was we pried them off, and they were relatively easy. I just put my 2 fingers here and pop, they came right out. There wasn't really too much to do on that. And I labeled them so we know which ones go where. Counting from here, I have 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So when I pull the wires out, I don't mix them up. So we're going to pull these off, and we're going to take the spark plugs out. I'm going to show you how to take one of them out. So there's the hole, 16mm socket down. It's on. Put your socket on. Break it. Break it not in the sense of breaking it so it unthreads. And don't put too much force because you can snap it. And that's it. Then I loosen it up by hand. Make sure it's nice and loose. And that's it. Now they're in there. Those pliers down there. And then you grab it and then you pull it out. There they are. So we used a 16mm socket. I don't know if you can see down that hole. Went down there and we yanked out this spark plug. As you can see, it's really bad. They've been in there for 80,000 miles. You might need a pair along those pliers to go down the hole and fetch it out. But that was it so far. So I'm going to break all 4 of these and go get new ones. And we'll see when we come back. I just came back from the auto store. I bought, these are NGKs. These were the most expensive spark plugs they had. And they're at Advanced Auto. And I paid for them, for 4 of them, $12.36. So now we're going to go ahead and gap them. I have my gapping tools. And we're going to gap them to .40. So how we're going to do this is we have a gapping tool. And it has the numbers all on. It starts from thinner to thicker all the way around. So you're going to take your spark plug and actually insert it on the side. And you're going to keep going up until you start feeling a drag. And as you feel the drag, you start prying up a little bit. So you're going in this direction. And very, very slightly. Because all you want to do by the end, and I want to get it to .40, which is right where it is now. I don't know if you can see that. But it's .40 and it's dead center. Is that you want to pull it out like it has a piece of dental floss, like on your teeth. And I have an old school checker with a piece of wire. It's a wire one. I use this quite often, and this is my double checker. So I go to 40 and I just do it like dental floss, so I know it goes through and it's fine. And that's how you gap them. Now we're going to put the spark plugs back in. As you see, when I went to the store, I covered everything up so I wouldn't get nothing in the holes. So we're going to move that aside. Basically, same procedure. We're going to take them out of the box. So here's your new versus the old. As you can see, those points back there, pretty sharp, versus new ones. So what we're going to do is put this into the socket. Just like that. And then we're going to drop it into the cylinder. I need 2 hands, I'll be right back. So basically all you do is you set it into your socket, hold it with your finger, and drop it down. And just tighten them up by hand. Do not cross thread, so if you feel it going in hard, back it out. Try it again, because it should go in just like that. Now that's finger tight. That's it. So now we got them all in, we're going to start cranking them down. Again, and the cranking is very loose term. You ratchet it until you get it tight, and then just, if you don't have a torque wrench, you don't want to tighten these because you'll snap them. So you just want to make them about a 1/4 turn more than hand tight. And that's it. Now we're going to replace the caps, right? And you have them all numbered, so you know they fall into 1, 2, 3, 4. And it just gets pushed down till you hear that snap. Put this cover back on, or any cover. What you want to do is you want to alternate the screw pattern. So like here, I'm cranking down this side of the manifold cover, and then I'm going all the way to the beginning part, cranking that down. And what that does is leave even pressure, so you're not tightening one side and then having the other side lift on you. So we'll do the same with here. We're going to crank this one down. And then we're going to move all the way over to the opposite side and crank that one down. And the last one will be this middle one. Back on the PT Cruiser. Now we're going to try to start it. Let's see if it starts up. Perfect. Tacking right. And she sounds good. That's changing the spark plugs and air cleaner on PT Cruiser 2006. $13 later and maybe 40 minutes, 45-minute time. Have a good one.